Oh, look at her. Wait a minute.
From what I can see, yeah. I don't see anything in your teeth from here anyways.
Here we go. And
Come on, y'all, it's time. Come on, let's go, let's go. Let's rolling on the road with the doc. Rolling on the road with Dave. Rolling on the road with the doc. 100 days of the possibility with Dave and Dr. Burton. All right, that was cool. Yeah.
and today is Tuesday, and it is May 14th. If you are watching live with TRTV 25, again, today is Tuesday, May 14th, and our guest is Kylie from Interim Healthcare and Judy Siegert from Disability Advocates of Kent County. She's an occupational therapist there. And Dave is on assignment in Lansing.
I,
So
I I finally sat down, Dr. Kimberly, and we're here. We have a booth showing people what universal design is. I've been talking to people from all over the state about what Judy does, and we have wheelchairs so people can experience like small kitchens, larger kitchens. And I finally sat down, and I'm just having too much fun rolling here in my tiredness.
it looks like you are in a wheelchair. So, for my wonderful friends
I
there,
am.
we have Dave, who has his ponytail back, so his hair is pulled back with his glasses on. He is dressed up today with a burgundy colored tie, and he has this wonderful vest on with a white shirt. And we have Judy, who has, I want to say, blondish hair, and it is more than shoulder length. And she is a white woman, and everybody knows what Kylie looks like. Oh my God! Okay, put your hands down. Stop it, hands. Kylie has on purple in honor of you know who, trimmed in black, and she has her peekaboo highlights. We haven't seen those all month. We've just seen the the darker hair with her glasses on. And you know me, I am adorned in my purple, and actually, I have on my purple butterfly on today with purple butterfly um, earrings to match. Of course, lipstick, and we've got the glitter eyelashes. Yep, and we have viewers tuned in already. We have Jason. He says, "Hi, everyone, and blessings, blessings to you." We have Vertanji, who is coming in all the way from Detroit.
Tanji.
She's just on the other side of Dave. And today we're talking
What?
about.
Oh, I thought Vertanji was behind me.
You
Oh,
thought,
you meant she's in Detroit.
yeah,
Got it.
she's in
Got it.
Detroit.
Got it. Just making sure.
Well, we feel honored here at Rolling on the Road that we get to introduce a new employee of Disability Advocates of Kent County. And she's going to give us a little bit of who she is and where she came from.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm Judy Siegert. I started with Disability Advocates of Kent County in April 1st, actually, so still pretty new. I'm an occupational therapist by trade, and I have over a 30-year career as an occupational therapist, the bulk of it in home health care. So this was a nice transition for me to join Disability Advocates, having a lot of firsthand experience in the homes of vulnerable seniors.
So she says she has over 30 years experience and she doesn't look a day over 35. So help us to figure that one out. All right, I'll let you guys.
Some people are advanced. You know, you've heard of Doogie Howser. Didn't he get his MD when he was like 15?
Yes.
So Judy became an OT when she was 5. Just saying.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are just joining our series, Kylie, you want to tell the people who you are?
Sure. I'm Kylie. I'm from Interim Healthcare. We've been doing a series of helpful and informational segments here about home care services. Interim Healthcare is West Michigan's only full service agency, meaning we offer hospice care, skilled home health care, and private duty caregiving services. So we
Thank you.
hire a variety of folks to help us out.
We want to say thank you to Miss Hattie Smith, who is watching us all the way from Kansas. So thank you so much for tuning in on today. Um, we're excited because we know that it literally takes a village when you begin to age or if you have a disability. I love what Dave is doing. He's showing how you can be at home. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Did we do the aging in place
Mhm.
and
Yep.
all of the all of the changes that need to be made. So, Kylie, you want to start with week one? What did we do on week one? We talked about
Just interim healthcare services and how we help people age in place through multiple service lines. So we learned that week that you can have private duty caregivers in your home to help with activities of daily living like meals, laundry, cleaning, showering, companionship, or going out and about and having fun, like Dr. Kimberly has done often with her workers. We also talked about how you can have skilled home health care in place, such as nursing and therapy, and hospice care. And you can have more than one level of care in your home at a time, or you can transition through the levels of care depending on your needs.
that's week two. Week three, we did.
Week three, we talked about payment sources in home care. So we discussed how medical insurances cover medical in-home care, and non-medical in-home care is not covered by medical insurance, but there's a whole plethora of ways that you can cover it, like VA, Medicaid waiver, PACE programs, private funding, and more.
And Judy, is there a charge for the services that Disability Advocates provides as an occupational therapist?
Generally, no. Typically, if there is a copay for some equipment, it will be $10, but oftentimes that is waived or covered by another source. So I would say generally this is a covered service, but it's depending on a few factors like income level. We work with the most vulnerable populations that, some of our consumers are Medicaid, Medicare eligible clientele. So
Though we do
we
try
are grant
not
funded.
to. Yeah. And our goal in life is not to discriminate against people if they have money. So we'll do maybe one a year. We'll do a private pay assessment, but it might be once a year. Very, very infrequently, we used to do assessments that auto no fault would pay for, but I'm just going to say by the time you fight those auto no fault insurance companies, we might as well just done it for free because, yeah, I'll just leave it there for today. But yeah, most of the people we work with are low income and no fee. But to say no fee for our work, but if there's a recommendation for like a bathroom modification, then some of those costs might need to be paid by the family. But so our portion of it is usually we can find a way most days.
Okay, and then Kylie, that's a great segue into the next week, the person that we invited.
Yeah. So we have a community partner coming on. Are you talking about?
Captain Dave.
Oh, yes, yes. One of our partners, Captain Dave, came on and talked about aging in place safely. We actually just sent him a referral today. We had a lady call us needing home care. However, she's been in the hospital a very long time. It's brand new to having a wheelchair, and nothing in her home is modified for it. So she's got to be looked at for a ramp. She might need to have some measurements done for her doors, might need to have the flooring looked at for levelness, as well as restructuring some bedrooms that are upstairs and downstairs. So we're sending Captain Dave on out there to give his professional opinion on safety, and then he brings in adaptable home for any construction work that needs to be done.
And the good part about with Captain Dave is that he will actually be your project manager. So not only is he going to make the recommendation, he will stay right there to make sure that it gets done according to and above and beyond the ADA requirements. Dave, Heidi DeVries is on board, and Heidi says, "Hi, Kylie. I love your agency."
Hi, thank
All right.
you.
Hi, Heidi. Hey, Heidi. I just was quoting you earlier today, but we'll get back to that and we'll leave. And I said nice things about you. I have witnesses. But I digress. Back to important things, Dr. Kimberly. Quit let me digress.
No, but that was a great digression. And she said, "Hi, Dave. Yes, Dave is home on the show, but not home physically."
Home, exactly. Oh my gosh, wait. I'm in a prime spot because can you see they're wheeling out trays of dessert over there?
Oh my goodness.
Holy mackerel. So I'm just, we're here, like I said, talking about what we do at Disability Advocates, trying to build a more accessible world.
And we love it. Oh, Heidi said Dave's home.
Dave's home. Dave's not here. But we digress. Back to the matter at hand.
Yes. And so we've had a wonderful, wonderful 4 weeks of pulling in all of the community in different, we've tried to carry different areas. This past week, we had Chaplain Micah. And what did Chaplain Micah talk about?
Yeah, we talked about respite, the different stresses that family caregivers go through, and the tough dynamics involved in that, as well as a little bit about grieving versus mourning. That's a really good episode, and I highly recommend that if you know somebody caring for a loved one in the home, you have them watch that.
Absolutely. Judy, do you often find that you have to have conversations with the family as it relates to um, having respite care?
You know, that's something that's definitely come across the conversations I've had with adult children that are entering their especially the first illness of their aging parents, right, or any other family member that they're all of a sudden finding themselves trying to figure out how to provide that care. You kind of have this spectrum of individuals who want to do everything for their loved ones or friends that they're wanting to care for, or the other end, where you have some family members that don't care to do anything at all. And no judgment there. Everybody's at a different place in their journey with, whatever dynamics that have, happened throughout life. But I think respite care is so important for people to be able to continue to provide care in a way that's the most positive for everybody, right? So, you always hear, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else, right? And
Right.
I think that's especially true when it comes to needing respite care. So we, here at Disability Advocates have definitely run into, situations where we've seen the need for somebody to look into respite care. I saw it quite a bit more when I was doing skilled home health care. But again, I'm still new here, so I'm probably going to experience running into that more and more as I go into homes for different purposes now.
Well, you have a resource here. You have Kylie, and they offer respite care, along with many other specialty cares. Heidi said, I've been a recipient of your agency and you've had some awesome folks working with you, which is a great segue to say, Kylie, you want to talk about the awesome folks and what people can do?
Absolutely. I'm going to insert some shameless plugs. We have phenomenal caregiver staff that we're so proud of. I do want to give a shout out to caregiver staff who are mothers as well, because we just had Mother's Day this weekend. I want everyone who's a caregiver to know it does not go unnoticed that you take care of clients all day and then you go home and take care of your family. And we so appreciate that work ethic and big heart that you have. And those really are the people that we strive to hire, are the ones with huge hearts who love learning about people and really bringing quality into home care. You know, those are the people that make it fun, that take Dr. Kimberly on the convertible ride and push her around at fun events and do cooking with our clients and baking and you name it. If you are a caregiver and you're looking for meaningful work in home care, give us a call, please. 616-575-0216. You can also visit us online at interimhealthcare.com and view our many job postings online. We are offering a $300 sign-on bonus to caregivers after they are hired in. If you mention this show, Rolling on the Road is how you heard about us. So very exciting. And we are hiring in 15 counties. So you can live in Grand Rapids, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Muskegon, or surrounding. And we are looking for workers in those areas for home care, home health, hospice, or facility or allied staffing. So check out the job postings.
We want to say thank you to Kent McDonald, who is watching us. And okay, Heidi did a really huge post. Heidi, I'm not reading all of that. But we want to say it is 17 minutes after the hour. We want to say thank you so much for tuning into Rolling on the Road with Dr. Kimberly and Dave. Dave is on a wonderful assignment. So he's going to talk a little bit about that after our quick little commercial break. We want to say thank you to Maddie Lopez Robles, who is watching us from Arkansas. Hey, Maddie, thank you for tuning in all the way from Arkansas. Yep. Love the accents down there. And if you are watching on GRTV 25, today is Tuesday, May 14th. We want to say thank you so much for being a loyal viewer, and we appreciate you. We are excited to say this is our 4th year with Rolling on the Road, and we're getting bigger and better and offering so many more great things to come. So we want to say thank you. We want to say thank you to all those who are watching on Planet X, 100 Shades of Diversibility on YouTube, who are watching on my personal Facebook page, Dr. Kimberly Barrington, who are watching on 100 Shades of Diversibility, who are watching on Rolling on the Road, and for those who are watching on my political page. So we want to say thank you. We definitely appreciate you. Can't wait to go look and see what our numbers have been. But Dave, do you want to tell everybody where you are today?
Sure. This is, are you still there? Oh, sorry. I got all excited. I'm at the Building Michigan Communities Conference. This is the exhibit hall. And I'm going to wander in front of our booth. We got gifted this booth by Mishta. There's our beautiful banner. This is like I'm in a mirror, so I'm just terrible at these things. So there we are. And we're here talking about universal design, inclusive design in home construction. And like 42 years ago, even before Judy was an OT, we started doing home assessments. And so we Judy's predecessors would go last year 450 times. We went into people's homes and they experienced this, which is like an inaccessible kitchen. And so, like, look at this. Well, I'm terrible. I'm kicking these. Oh my gosh. I can't even turn around. That's how terrible this inaccessible kitchen is. And so after 20 years of doing that, or golly jeepers, almost 20 years, the team said, why don't we start working with builders to build accessible homes from the beginning so we don't have to remodel like serious home modifications when disability comes, not if, but when disability comes. You just hang a grab bar and call it good. But like this space right here is actually what's considered a type B unit. This is legal and people think it's accessible. And so like Dr. Kimberly, you'd have to have this parallel approach. How can you reach? We have some really cool before and after pictures of our team working with folks where they would be able to get a cutout like built underneath a sink and you can go up and be at the counter. These counters are a little high, but that's what life is. But see, then we have this, even though it's legal, it's called type B adaptable. But then we have this huge space right here, which is 67 inches turning space, because this is what the code is going to go to. It's going to require a 67-inch turning radius above the current 60 inches. So long story short, we're trying to get everyone to build things accessible from the get-go, 100% of units. Even though like there's zero requirement for single family homes. So Dr. Kimberly, we already knew this, but you are unique. You have an accessible home. 0.15%. Not like it's not an Excel spreadsheet, 0.15 becomes 15%. No. 0.15% of homes, single family homes in America are accessible for you. And you've probably experienced that, right? You can't go to your family, your friends, it's because most homes, 99.85% of homes are inaccessible to a wheelchair user. And so we're trying to bend that curve. We're trying to get it up to 99% flat. But again, it's all about flexibility, and I could go on and on and on about new construction and significant remodels. But back to Judy and her team, they're focused on helping people who they're in their home and, in this day and age, to be forced to move costs so much. So how do we help people stay safely and as independently as possible? And our work, I say our work, but it's their work. We are evidence-based for increasing independence and increasing safety in people's homes. We wish we could prove fall prevention. We're pretty confident we help people prevent falls, but fall prevention's a pretty high bar. And of course, how do you prove it that a fall didn't happen? But we digress. But to say that I'm here having a great time talking to a lot of people for Tanji that are in the Big D, and people in Lansing, people up north Michigan, people down, talked to a person that her mom lives in Coldwater, and her mom is now using a scooter and she can't use the kitchen anymore. And it breaks her heart because her mom loves to cook. So again, how do we adapt existing spaces, provide adaptive equipment? That's what Judy and her team are doing. And me and a couple other people, we dabble in this thing called inclusive design, trying to get, again, nonprofit, for-profit developers. We don't care. If you're building a house, it needs to be 0 step. Darn it. And that's all I'm going to say for the moment.
Well, and I tell you, I guess I get to be the unicorn because I had the opportunity to have occupational therapy come in and do their assessment. And with my 0 step, I really appreciated them. I moved into a newly built condo, And the only thing that we really found, there was a couple of things, some were major, but what we did find that I needed to do threshold. I needed the threshold, so they custom made one for me.
I was there was
Oh my gosh.
Judy. There's like those hard rubber
Right.
threshold mini ramps.
Mm-hmm.
We once a year we try to do a ramp build as a staff, and so we help our partner Home Repair Service. Shameless plug for Home Repair Services, because they're the ones who provided these really cool cabinets for me to bring and have this kitchen display. So we're doing this home, or building a ramp as a staff. And Renee, who's one of our certified occupational therapy assistants, or CODAs, she goes to her truck and pulls out this rubber thing, and it's like, I've got to cut this because it's got to fit Dr. Kimberly's house and it's way too big. So we oh my God, it worked, right, Dr. Kimberly?
Yes.
I'm just going to say it worked. Our team will let no barrier, including the barriers to knock down barriers to help people stay in their homes independently and safely.
Yeah, this was definitely a big, huge custom. It wasn't like your regular threshold. It wasn't. So when I saw it, it looked like they went and got a tire from an 18 wheeler to create this.
I do think that's what they're made of.
Yeah. Hey, it's called recycling.
Yeah.
It's called recycling.
Those are great things to recycle, because what else could you do with old tires? And they do kind of smell like old tires for a while until they like meld into your environment. They work great. Occupational therapists will always find a way to make something accessible and make something work. I think that we are born to find a solution. Sometimes it's a crazy solution, but it's always a surprisingly perfect solution. All the adaptive equipment, all the modifications. We think of it all.
And they're always like, they come back with the assessment. They're doing research to find new equipment. They're making stuff up. They're getting that big old threshold mini ramp, kind of an oxymoron. Uh-oh, the reception's starting. You can hear the music. That's not me. So long story short, I'm going to be signing off here now because I have to work the booth. So Judy is going to keep the story going, but call us at Disability Advocates. Shameless plug. If you're in Kent County, some of the surrounding rural counties will come out, do an assessment, and I say they will do an assessment, help you out. So then Kylie and her team can take over and provide that long-term care, because again, we come in, get out of the way. So I'm gonna get on Run DMC, old school, and so I gotta work in here. People are coming up to the booth. Thank you so much, Kylie, again for hanging out with us. Dr. Kimberly, I'm rolling today.
Woo,
and
I'm loving
Judy, we'll see you Thursday. No, you're not in. We'll see you Friday.
I'll be here. Thanks.
Good work, Dave.
Walk
Great
this
job.
way.
Oh, goodness sakes. He's having a good time there.
Yeah,
That's what it's about. That collaboration. His last words were saying, we'll come in, get that hard work done so that Kylie and her team can come in. Kylie, but you guys have a team of occupational therapists as well, do you not?
Yes, we've got a full home care team. So we have skilled nursing, psychiatric skilled nursing, bath aides. We do speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. And then we've got all of our hospice clinicians and different types of caregivers. So, and those services, once again, are covered by Medicare or your health insurance. So we're a little bit different than disability advocates. We are insurance based.
Right. Like, we don't, as occupational therapists, provide hands-on therapy. So there is a difference there, but we help make the environment set up so that the occupational therapist at interim can just come in and focus on more hands-on care. Probably a lot of collaboration though about the environment as well too. But then we work with our community partners. Sometimes a ramp can be arranged if needed with some of our partners, or we find, funding sources to bring that equipment in so that when people get home, they have that tub transfer bench ready to go. And then the OT and the PT that come in from interim will be like, it's a dream come true. They don't have to order any equipment. So.
Yeah, that is so great when people are prepared. Yes, we can order equipment once we're out there, but ideally you want it there before you even get home. And so if you can prepare for this stuff ahead of time, that's ideal.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for Illy Lamberts. She's tuning in and watching on today. Thank you, Illy. What I love about it, if you're a veteran, the VA has an occupational therapy prosthetic department that will go through and make sure if you are in a facility, if you're in a hospital, if you're in rehab, and you're planning on going home, they make sure that they do an assessment so that everything is in place. And the VA does pay for interim healthcare services to come in. And that's how I got them. They are on the list to provide in-home care. And I also got partnered with Disability Advocates of Kent County because I was in the voc rehab program through the VA. And since I wasn't able to finish school, they sent me over to Disability Advocates. It's a 24-month program to teach me how to be independent. And we're not going to talk about how I felt about that. Nope, we're not going to digress with that story today. But it definitely was a wonderful 24 months back then. And now it's been, more than 10 years that we have been connected. So, yeah, it's been 10 years, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it's been 10 years this year that I have been connected with Disability Advocates of Kent County, and never expected that, coming in as a referral from the VA to be taught how to be, disabled, if you will, to now what we've been on here for 4 years, having a show and teaching other people on how to do it. It's awesome. It's really awesome, to be able to pay it forward.
Dr. Kimberly, one thing that struck me about you and why I initially called you to kind of pick your brain a little bit is you are your own advocate when it comes to healthcare. And I think that's a blessing. And if you have somebody in your family going through a disability, illness, hospitalization, whatever it is, I think it's so important that you step up to the plate and be their advocate if they are not their advocate themselves. Part of the reason Dr. Kimberly's had phenomenal care over the years through multiple organizations is she talks to people. She talks to her VA social worker. She talks to her doctor, asks questions, connects the dots there. But some folks don't do that, and they really need to sit down with the social worker and be guided through the system on what's out there. So I just encourage you to call either Disability Advocates or Interim, and we'll get a social worker out there and help be your health advocate if you're not one for yourself.
Absolutely. Or you don't have a family member that can, kind of come in and do that. And you don't even have to have a family member. You can have a friend who's willing to come in. I want to say thank you so much to Heidi for all of her comments. She's been really engaging in the conversation. She has lots of compliments when it comes to interim healthcare. And she also did talk about the accessibility space that's at Disability Advocates. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
It's a beautiful space where anybody from the community or any organization can come in and experience what a truly accessible living space is like. It's not just a kitchen. The kitchen is kind of the flashiest, prettiest area in our home accessibility center, but we encourage people to come in and experience even if they're not disabled. We had a lot of students come from Kendall College of Art and Design come in, and we said, get in the chairs and see what it's like to try to turn around in this kitchen and pull up to the sink and try to use the touch controls for the water, and see how easy it is to get things in and out of our microwave at this level, and look at where we've placed the oven. And then we show them where the outlets have been placed. We have a very accessible bathroom, but we've also got the creative space where we can show people we can move the wall. So we could pull the wall in and show them what a typical bathroom is that the basic home has, it's teeny tiny bathroom, and there's no way that a chair can turn around in there, or even sometimes a walker. And so then we have the ability to slide that wall back another, I think it's 6 feet. I can't quote that. And just show people, if you design or are able to modify your bathroom in such a way that you can just add this extra space, just being able to turn around in your bathroom to be able to get in and out of your shower. And we have a great display of what a tub cut looks like, and how, if that's the best thing that can happen in your bathroom, how that looks, and how that increases the accessibility of getting in and out of what then becomes more of a shower than a tub shower combination. There's hundreds of things in the Home Accessibility Center that are usually a big eye opener to anybody who comes into the space to say, I never thought of that. I'm so glad I came to look at this. I had no idea that these options were available to make things more accessible. And there are things that are, very small to, more of a large scale change in somebody's environment. But it's just a great place to come and take a look. Some people bring their aging parents, as they're entering, the next phase of their life, so they can see, like if they're thinking of moving from their forever home or building, or just thinking about making changes, this is a great place to come and take a look at what you don't know that you might need. So it's really a great thing. And we have a huge loan closet full of equipment too, where we can show people some of the things that are available for needs for getting on and off the toilet easier, various grab bars, and bed rail bars, and tub benches, and shower chairs. We have a lot of things in there, but I'll give my shameless plug now. We're always looking for equipment donations, gently used or even more than gently used. So we'll take it in and make sure it's safe, clean it up, and then we repurpose it into the hands of those who might need it, because those items are not covered by insurance. Most of the time, they're not covered by insurance, which people find really surprising the first time they're looking for that equipment. They're like, why doesn't my insurance pay for a shower bench? I can't answer that question. As an occupational therapist, I've been, beating that drum my entire career, but I haven't had any success, because it's just my little voice going, pay for a shower chair. So I didn't make that happen yet. I still got time.
But if you are a veteran, the VA does pay for those little things. So
Great
don't
for veterans, yes.
So no worries if you're a veteran.
Well, they should. I mean, that's such a wonderful thing that the VA does. Takes care of their veterans for things like that. I'm so grateful.
Judy, do you need to have an appointment to come in there and check out the Accessibility Center?
Generally, no. There's always somebody here Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Sometimes it's helpful to give us a call, and our number is, I have to look at it because I'm still new here. I don't have it memorized.
616 949
1100. That's our main number. The occupational therapy department, you can call 616-323-2229 and just make sure somebody's here. It's nice to have one of the occupational therapists present so that we can show you the full gamut in the Home Accessibility Center, but an appointment's not necessarily needed.
We often get asked by our clients where they can donate equipment they're done with. Do they need to have an appointment to donate equipment to you, or can they just drop it off anytime?
We probably prefer a phone call, just again to make sure that somebody's here. We keep our outside door here in the Special Olympics of Michigan building is the door to our office is kept locked, and we don't want to have just some equipment out there. But we also can come and pick it up if need be. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to go to someone's home and ease that burden so that they don't have to load everything into their own vehicle, and we'll come and pick it up. But or give us a call if you're in the area, and you can drop any of that off. We really appreciate those donations. I personally hate putting anything like that into the landfill, so it thrills me to be able to repurpose and reuse that.
That's awesome.
There's two things that you didn't mention that I really, really like about that kitchen. Number one is they have a tab that you can, when you open up the cabinet, that you can pull down for your seasonings or for your glasses. So you can be in your wheelchair and just open up the cabinet and pull it down, and it's right there, like voila. And the other one is a wheelchair accessible dishwasher. So I'm telling you, it is just awesome. I cannot wait. I am going to have the condo that I'm in. We acquired the land right behind us, and so they've started to build. So I'm going to move over into the new section, and I'm really excited because we're going to do the planning and the building here on Rolling on the Road.
Oh.
To hopefully, sell it to HGTV, because they don't take the time to show how to build an accessible home or a universal home from the very beginning. So we've already got some of our stuff put together. The builder is on board with it. So we're really excited to be able to talk about it. And we're going to kind of use the Home Assessment Center at Disability Advocates of Kent County as our home base as we're doing some of the planning, or either, just kind of come here to the condo that I'm in currently and just show a couple of things that we're going to make some major changes that I would need based off of the type of wheelchair that I have. But Heidi, I want to say thank you. She's doing some really great comments here. She said that senior millage also helps to pay for equipment. So Heidi is pretty knowledgeable. Her and Miss Carol, they're at everything, and they have a very long history of being advocates. And so thank you, Heidi, so much for that. Again, senior millage can help to pay for equipment.
That's correct. Yep, that's correct. We work a lot with Kent County Senior Millage.
And CARE. They fund caregiver services for clients as well if you qualify for their programs. So that's part of the screening process we put people through when they call for CARE. Have you called Commission on Aging or Area Agency on Aging yet to be screened for their programs? Are you a veteran? Do you have long-term care insurance? We go through that list, and many times people will be connected with a case manager at Commission on Aging, whether it's under the Medicaid waiver program or senior millage. And then that person handles your Meals on Wheels, your equipment, your caregiver services, and more.
Okay, it would going through the senior millage, would that be considered as part of the self-pay to be able to get the credit, or it actually has to come out of your pocket?
So to get the $100 invoice credit here, it needs to be privately funded. So you have to be privately paying for care. It can't be covered by senior millage or anything like that. We would consider that a public assistance program if VA or area agency is paying for your care.
Yes, Heidi, I meant Tammy. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of somebody else right now that needed some assistance. So thank you for that. Her friend is Tammy. I appreciate it. It is now 1:15. It's amazing that 45 minutes have already passed by. We had such great information on today. We kind of went the full gamut from what we've talked about the last 4 weeks into what Dave is doing, and then introducing Judy to the world. Yes.
Thank you so much.
What a great introduction to come here on Rolling on the Road. And it's amazing. Most people will say I can't talk 45 minutes to an hour. And then the next thing they know, it's like, oh my God, it's over already? Yeah, it's over already. Because I tell people all the time, I don't do questions ahead of time. I'm asking you about what it is that you do. And 90% of the people are extremely passionate about what it is that they do, and they can talk about it, forever, in just the innovative ways that they get things done or what they've brought to it, people that they've met. I always like to ask, what has been your favorite occupational therapy experience?
Oh, you're
Judy?
asking me my favorite.
Yeah.
Wow, I have to choose just one.
Okay,
You
we'll give you
know,
two, but
no, I do have one that stands out for me. This was years ago, and I was doing skilled home healthcare, like what part of Kylie's team does. And I had an individual that was largely confined to bed and had lost a lot of function because of a kidney illness. And he was quite young, had high school age children. So this was a really hard thing for him. And the physical therapist and I really worked hard. And I mean, we started very basics with him sitting on the edge of the bed and tolerating a minute sitting on the edge of the bed. And we got this gentleman to be able to walk to and from his mailbox by the end of his care. And it was just a really thrilling thing to be able to give his purpose back to him. He was able to participate in his family events again and able to get in and out of his bathroom again instead of just being bathed in bed. And it was a thrilling thing for him. And that was just a home run. We were able to get some goals met there. So that one stands out quite a bit for me.
what about you, Kylie?
I think it's really rewarding to provide all the levels of home care we do, but I absolutely love it when a family member tells us, thank you so much for allowing me a night of sleep. I
Mm,
think people who sleep through the night maybe take it for granted. We forget that there's a lot of people out there caring for a loved one that can't sleep through the night because that loved one is up all night in pain or has sundowners, dementia, and illness. And when you're not sleeping through the night and you're trying to care for that person all day, you become a really burned out individual. And you probably don't talk as nice or care for that person as well. So, I personally love helping people set up overnight care. Our caregiver goes out and stays up through the night, tends to that person so that their loved one can sleep. And our caregivers get out of your way in the morning.
oh, I love it. We want to say thank you so much for Heidi and all of her comments. And I love you too, Heidi. And to Monique Reddick, who just started tuning in, thank you so much. They definitely understand. Um, their mom, my sister-in-law, had cancer. And so everybody kind of took turns taking care of her. And it was nice that they did family respite care. They did an awesome, awesome, awesome job taking care of her until she had to be, hospitalized, and she passed away at the hospital and not at home. Um, you brought up a very good point, Judy, about your story, how the husband felt now that he had an illness that kept him away. And we talked about this a little bit last week with Chaplain Micah, and we talked about the difference between mourning and grieving. And many people who are used to being independent and taking care of themselves and accessing life the way they want to, and it's taken away from them, based off of injury, a disability, or an illness that has progressed to the point that they've lost that it's important as caregivers. You may not know that person personally yet. You may have just met them. However, I think that the signs are there with depression. They're grieving the loss of their independence, the loss of who they used to be. And so, can you call Chaplain Micah at any time, or do you have to be enrolled in a program in order to access Chaplain Micah?
He'd probably talk to you anytime. He's a great guy. All of our social workers and chaplains will certainly hear your situation. But they will do the home visits for you if you are a client enrolled in our care. And then they'll come out as often as you need them. And then even a whole year after our patient's death, you get that grievance support.
This is awesome. Heidi said she was born with a disability, and over the years, it has gotten worse. So she said, so there is a lot of grief on a daily basis these last few years. And that's so understandable, especially, I think that if you're born with a disability, you may mourn, more because this is the way life has always been for you, but you start to see the changes, progressively that you might not be able to do, like with MS. MS is one of those types of diseases that over time, there's a progression. And so you have the opportunity to, as I like to say, kind of roll with it because okay, you got kind of like this timeline. Unlike those myself who acquired a disability, whether it's, as a young person or even late in life. I was almost 50 years old when I acquired my disability, and now I am a full-time and have been for 11 years. So I've had a lot of time to go through a grieving and a mourning. She says, you lose self-help skills and you know what you used to do, but you can't do anymore. Absolutely. That the difference really between grieving and mourning is regret. Things that you didn't do, then you grieve that. But mourning, it's almost like you had an opportunity to know that it was going to happen, and you have that time to reconcile it within your mind, within your heart. You're still sad, but you don't have that regret that you would normally have when it comes to grieving. I know for me, I grieved because I thought about all the things that I probably should have done or could have been doing as a person who was walking. And now that I don't have that ability, to walk, it's like, you didn't do this. You didn't, I have this long list of all these things that I didn't do, or that I could have done, or I could have picked up, because now, I'm just one-sided, one-handed. And I went through all that shoulda, coulda, woulda, and why didn't I? And now it's like, oh, okay, I've figured out how to do it, with the help of Disability Advocates of Kent County, with the help of interim, healthcare. I was truly blessed that one of the persons early on that got me worked for Spectrum's neuro rehabilitation. That was her other job. So when she came to me, she was able to do some of those exercises and do those skills. Her skill set was just impeccable. That really helped me to get back and not just say, okay, here's our book, and this is what they say that you should do. But she came in, she looked at where I lived and how I lived, and said, basically, let me give you some disability hacks, girl. This is how you can get this done. And I kind of really like that with Disability Advocates. Kind of did the same thing. They pushed me out there, said, you're going to live life. Life doesn't stop. There are still things that you can do, even though, you're in that wheelchair. It's not the end of the world. But Judy, any final words before we sign off here?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. This was really quite a bit of fun, and I liked hearing from all of you and the comments. That's been fun too. I think final words, just like you said, continue living life. Everything for the most part can be made accessible, And there is a lot of help and support out there for everybody. Interim is a great example of that and has, an excellent track record with providing private duty care and respite care and skilled home care. And Disability Advocates has a wide range of services to help make your world accessible again. So have hope and have joy.
Kylie.
Find the laughter in every day. We talked about that a little bit last week. Dr. Kimberly is really good at that. She's a great example of finding the fun and laughter, and talk to somebody every day. If you are at home alone and you are dealing with a disability or a new illness, please don't sit home alone all day. At least get somebody on the phone. Call me, call my team, call Disability Advocates. Hit up Dr. Kimberly. We are all a source of connection for you in how you can be the best you, make the best of your situation.
And Heidi's final words are, and keep doing what you can do for yourself. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that is so true. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching with GRTV 25, today is Tuesday, and it is May 14th. We want to say thank you to our loyal, she says, and see the humor in things that you do. Yes, definitely. Always find the funny in everything you can. But if you are watching, we want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being such loyal viewers and allowing us to be here for 4 years. We definitely appreciate it. And we thank you. And we will see you on next week. And you guys stay safe and enjoy life.